Top of the evening to you all on the East Coast or from wherever you're taking in this live stream. I'm DJ LaFave. I'm here with another live Ask Me Anything live stream. So if you guys have any questions, audio, visual, technical questions, virtual DJ, Elgato Stream Deck, heck, even PowerPoint, Microsoft products, Elgato Stream Deck, whatever. We're here just to discuss any of your questions, man. I've done a lot of research and educating myself, and I'm happy to share that with you all today. So we're going to kick things off today. I'm going to give you a overview of Voicemeeter, Banana, and essentially Potato. They're two very similar programs. Going to break apart what makes up Voicemeeter, what the different parts are, how to kind of configure it a little bit, and then take any of your questions that you guys might have about this really awesome program that is only for Windows. So if you have a Mac, I'm sorry, this is going to be completely useless for you. So just go log on to Mr. Beast's stream or something. So here we go. As always, if you guys enjoy what you're seeing out here in the content, then like, subscribe, hit that notify button, and we're going to continue to have some fun. Okay, so let's hop into it. This is Voicemeeter Banana is what you're looking at right now. The difference between Voicemeeter Banana and Voicemeeter Potato, well, first off, Voicemeeter Banana is donationware, so you don't have to pay to use it. Voicemeeter Potato, you got to throw them a couple bucks to get the full license. They'll let you test it out and try it and all that, but you need to be able to pay to open and unlock all the features. So we're going to start right now. If you are following along and this is the first time you have set up Voicemeeter and you want to be able to hear while you're working through this, I've had that question a couple times on my tutorials. This is the quick setup to start off with, okay? So quick setup so you can follow along with this tutorial. The first thing you want to do is just go to this top right section, Hardware Out. Click down on the A1 button. You're going to get a whole list of options for audio for you to choose from. Select your speakers, whatever speakers or headphones that you use normally to listen. This is going to be your output from Voicemeeter as it takes over your entire audio interaction. All right, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to select A1 underneath this area right here. So you're seeing right underneath the virtual inputs, select the A1 box. And then finally, for you to be able to hear the audio, you need to change your system desktop settings. Just go to the bottom right by your calendar and clock, hit that little speaker button, and what I want you to do is select Voicemeeter Input, VAIO. What you're essentially doing is you're taking your audio is going to be coming in here from your system now, and then you're going to send it to A1, which is up here. Does that make any sense to you? Of course it doesn't yet. That's why you're here for the beginner tutorial. So let's break it down. Voicemeeter. When I first encountered this application, I was just totally dumb. I won't even say dumbstruck. I was just dumb. I didn't know how to do it. It was completely just totally obliterated my mind, but I kept coming back because I saw that this thing has to work. It has to make some sense and make it work for everyone, right? So thank you everybody who's coming in the chat right now or coming into the broadcast. Drop a line in the chat. Let me know where you're coming from. I love to see who's tuning in from all over the world. And again, if you guys want to call in, the line's open. It's US number 973-846-2776. Okay, so with Voicemeeter, you've got two different sections. Everything to the left of the cassette tape, when I'm teaching people about this, let me do this. To the left of the cassette tape is your inputs. So on Voicemeeter Banana, you have 3 inputs, 3 hardware inputs. Potato, you get 5. On Banana, you get 2 virtual inputs, which you see right here, and we're going to go in depth on all of this. And on Voicemeeter Potato, you get 3. And it just helps you out with more intricate routing once you get to that. And then you got the output section on over to the right. So everything to the left of the cassette tape is an input. Everything to the right of the right of the virtual inputs is outputs. What's up, Stefan? How you doing? I did want to let you know, Stefan, you sent me a link the other day and the link did not open. So if you want to send me your link again via email, I know you got my email. I'd love to check out your website and learn a little bit more about what it is that you're doing up there in Canada. So thanks for stopping by. Okay, here we go. So like I just said, you've got the hardware inputs on the left. The hardware inputs can be either physical, so it's a microphone, a USB microphone, a USB audio interface, or it can be something like a virtual audio cable. Voicemeeter VB Audio recommends that you use these inputs for your virtual inputs, but in a pinch, you can add a virtual audio cable to this section over here. So if you have a MIDI device or some other type of hardware, this is where it's going to go. It's to the left right here. Virtual inputs, we'll dive into this in a little bit. That's where your system sounds and your app sounds are going to go. They're all going to come through these 2 channels, 3 channels if you got Potato. All right, and then we're going to just look over to the right here a little bit. On the right, you've got physical outputs. So again, in the top right, you're going to see this section right here, hardware out. That is speakers, headphones. I think those are the only real 2 physical hardware outs that you can do. If anybody has any other ideas of what could be a hardware output, then check it out. Maybe it's some other different type of audio device. But for this purpose, those are the hardware outs. Physical outputs is going to be that section right there. You've got A1, A2, A3, and then in the bottom right, on the left-hand side, you see A1, A2, A3. This is how you control the master section of your hardware outputs. Now, this is your gain section right here. Right here is your gain. And then you also can do some equalizer changes. You can make it mono, and they have different modes that you could select. On the right, you'll see B1 and B2. Again, on Potato, you're going to see B1, B2, B3. This correlates to the output from your virtual outputs. So if you're going to be sending your sounds to Zoom and you're going to use the VAIO as your microphone, this right here, this whole line right here is where it's going to be coming out of. All right. So you could use the hardware in from, you could use the hardware in from the chat right now. Stefan says you could use the hardware in from a virtual cable. You could, you could, I guess, send it out that way. Excellent point. Thank you, good sir. Thank you. All right, moving on along. Let's look at the hardware inputs right now. So here's the hardware inputs. I got all 3 across the board right now. And let's look at hardware input 1. And we're going to look at the different parts, the components that make up hardware input 1. So at the top, you have where you are going to select your device. That is where you can name what the device is and where you can pick which device you're going to use. The middle section is the IntelliPan color panel. That offers a lot of adjustments. I personally don't use it at all. I don't touch it. If my voice sounds like crap, I apologize. Could I make it sound better? Maybe, but don't mess with a good thing. I know my audio is working right now, so I leave it. And then at the bottom is the audio controls and routing. So, like the sign says in my little thing right there, we are going to do a live demo of what these things are. So we're going to hop into one that I'm not using. Right here's hardware input 3. I'm not using it right now. If I wanted to use it, I would just hit this down button, and you can see all the different selections that I can make. VB Audio recommends WDM, Windows Device Media, I believe is the name of that, to use that one above any other. That is the one that they say offers the lowest latency around for any of your devices that you're bringing in. The next up that they say they recommend is the MME. If you can't use the WDM, then use the MME. And then the KS, the kernel sound, is not available in all of your devices, so you can use it, you don't have to use it. And these are all the different selections that I could put in here. So right now for craps and giggles, we're going to put virtual audio cable D in here. Notice at the bottom, you can also remove your device selection. That's very, very good right there. DJ Kirk, thank you. I appreciate it. Says love the content. I just love sharing all the crap that I've learned. So thank you very much for saying that in the chat. Thank you very much, sir. Okay, and you can remove your device selection right there. All right, so we're going to pick, like I said, craps and giggles. And then up here, if you right-click in the hardware input, you can name it. And we're going to call this one craps and giggles because we can, if I know how to type. Goigles. Craps and giggles. All right, there we go. And then you hit enter. There we go. So we got craps and giggles as the name of our device. This could be microphone 1. It could be, actually right here is where I am bringing in my Google voice calls. So I can rename this one on the spot, be a good teacher, a good steward of my own lessons. I have Google Voice coming in online too. Okay, so in Voicemeeter Banana, you have this IntelliPan right here. So you can change the sound of your voice. Now, if I did this on my current mic, you're going to hear the difference in my sound. And I'm almost hesitant to do this. It's very, very, testy right now. So let's see. So if I change this, you guys can hear what my voice sounds like as I bring this up. I'm going to bring it down, and then I'm going to keep talking. I'm going to get some higher lows, and then I'm going to get some highs, and hopefully you were able to hear what that was. So DJ Kirk says, my friend and I want to do a joint DJ live stream. Is it possible to do that? Because I've seen some DJs doing it, and how can it be done? You're in the right lesson, my friend. This is the program that you're going to want to use, because when you're doing a concurrent live stream, one person has to control the live stream and then be able to route the audios in and out. So I don't want to make you hang out, but I have this whole lesson plan here real quick. It should be another 5-10 minutes, and then we can really dive into what exactly you would need to do to make that happen. Whether it's including, you just let me know while you're in the chat right now what DJ program you're going to be using, and then also what DJ program, and then how are you broadcasting? Are you using OBS, or are you going to be using virtual DJ within itself? So you could do live on Google Voice. Never use that. Yeah, well, not that you could. Right now, I have Google Voice fed in to my broadcast right here. So routing the different audio, I'm using virtual audio cable A as my routing from Google Voice in. And then the way I have it set up right here is that when it rings, I hear it, but I don't put anybody on the air until I push this button, which then activates this and sends it on air. So if there's somebody that's just mouthing off, if they call in, I'm kind of prepared for that. You're not on air right away. So just using my Stream Deck, I have a button configured where I can hear the ringing, I can hear them talking, and then I can do that, and then it will take them off air or put them on air. So Google Voice will feed through Voicemeeter, and this is kind of, once you understand how Voicemeeter works, you can do all of this routing all yourself. It's really fantastic. All right, so let's go back to the IntelliPan section that we were just at. If I right-click on this, it changes to another panel, which is modulation, and an FX panel. I encourage you to go to Voicemeeter, download their or view the manual. It kind of goes a little in depth in here, but not as in depth as I would like it. You definitely could learn a little bit more from just testing it. Put your monitor on, listen to what the changes do to the sound of your voice. Now, this section here is really cool. If you're doing podcasts, if you're doing a show with somebody else, you can actually make the sound appear as if you were on the left or on the right. It kind of pans the sound. So this is close, and then if I move this, it moves them kind of further away to the left. So say you had some background noise that you wanted to use. You could make it appear in your stereo broadcast that they are off and to the right a little bit more behind you. So as an example, if you guys are listening to this on headphones right now, I'm going to show you that I'm gonna now show up on the left. So now I'm talking, it should only be coming out of your left ear. This is actually my right, but I used to do fitness instruction. So you're facing the class, and you gotta, your right is your left, and your left is your right. It's a whole lot of fun. And then I'm going to switch this over, and now I'm going to be on the right. And now I'm going to go back here, and I'm a little bit further away, coming back more towards center. And that is an example of how this whole panel works. Right-click one more time, and you are back to the beginning. So that is what is available on Voicemeeter Banana. Voicemeeter Potato. So Voicemeeter Banana also adds this comp and this gate. I will say that the manual does not describe the gate portion at all. You will not learn anything from the manual by just seeing gate. So VB Audio, if you are watching this, please add some more information on what these kind of two do. I know, because I'm not an audio engineer, I just do this as a hobby. When I increase the gate, it kind of drops back, it drowns out. Gate low increases the amount of the threshold before it starts picking up audio. So this is almost a way to remove some background noise. I increased the gate to 3.8. So right now I'm quietly knocking. I'm going to quietly knock on my desk. And that's not really enough for it to pick up. So I'm going to drop this down to nothing. And you see it picks it up a little bit there. So I keep the gate, anywhere between 3 and 4. And it kind of helps a little bit right there. All right, you're using VDJ for software. You like to use UBS for your live stream, and I'm on a Mac. Okay, well then I could definitely help you out a little bit. The problem that you're going to face right now, DJ Kirk, with your dual DJ live stream is that I don't know how to route audio in Mac without using Voicemeeter. Voicemeeter is my savior. So I'll kind of show you the idea of how it would work, and then if you could figure out that last remaining step, potentially within Virtual DJ, you might be good to go. All right, let's zoom back out here. I think that is as far as we're going to go in the live demo. Then I have a couple of other fun stuff here planned for you. So let's get down to the lower section, audio controls and routing. A1, A2, A3, B1, B2, or A4, A5, and B3 if you got Potato, this is what is going to send it out. So you're in your hardware panel, and you want to route your input out somewhere, right? So if your headphones or speakers were in the A1 slot that we discussed earlier, then you're not going to want to hit A1 for your microphone, because there is a tremendous amount, well, not a tremendous, but there's enough latency to really, really screw with your head. That is what killed me in the beginning when I was using Voicemeeter. I kept on trying to monitor my own sound using Voicemeeter. And when you're routing this sound through all those USB cables, it just, it just really, really wreaks havoc, and it's no good. But I do want to show you that is where you're going to be sending your sound. So the example I showed earlier with, let me open up my live version here. When I'm using here, I'm sending my Google Voice is coming in, and my headphones are A2. And when I want to send it out, I select B1. So that's a live look at kind of how you're going to be moving some of those things around. Let's get rid of this again. Okay, so now A1, A2, A3, B1, B2, these align with the master out section. And wait for it, we got cool animations. That's right, we've got arrows that move. We are big time here, DJ LaFave's YouTube page. These correlate to your outputs. So remember, this is in the bottom right section. This is in the left section over here. This is going to feed into them. So you could send your mic to all 5 of these outputs. You could do that. It might screw with some of your audio, might screw with some of your sounds, but there's nothing stopping you from doing that. All right, nothing stopping you. Everyone's going to have their own needs for this. All right, so A1, A2, and 3, like I said, they map up to the hardware outputs right here, and then at the top right, they'll line up with your drop downs in the top right, your A1, A2, A3. If you guys dig this animation, please give this page a like. I kind of worked a little hard on this. PowerPoint has this, PowerPoint 16 or PowerPoint Office 365 has this cool morph feature, and I was really digging my head around this just to make it work and make it all look fun. So there you go. Oh, wait, missed one. Nope, that's it. All right, cool. All right, so now let's talk about the virtual inputs. This is the first 2 sections to the left of the cassette tape, virtual inputs. I'm showing you Banana. On Potato, you're going to have a third one right here, which is your VAIO3. VAIO, by the way, stands for Video Audio Input Output. I don't know why it's not just listed as VAIO1 and VAIO2, because they call this one VAIO, they call this one AUX, and then they call them Potato, the next one VAIO3. So go figure. All right. So this is where your system and application sounds are going to come in. So like we mentioned earlier, if you set up your system sound, just your general system sound in Windows, as Voicemeeter input VAIO, then it's going to feed all of your system sounds to this left channel. If you set up your system sounds to AUX input, it's going to go to this right channel. Now, some applications allow you to route audio independent of your system settings. Virtual DJ is one of them. So in Virtual DJ, for example, let me just go pull this up. If you guys didn't catch my recent stream I did the other day, I picked up a new skin here. This is the orange juice skin. I say new. It's new to me. It's not new to Virtual DJ. This thing's been around for quite a few years, but I love it. Check out my video. You might enjoy it too. Okay, so now for audio right here, you'll see that my master out is set to AUX. This means that my music now is coming in on that AUX channel. That is where my audio is coming in for music, played through Virtual DJ. So when I'm doing that, it is going to separate it from my system sound, and now I have control over that if and when I decided to do some sort of type of live broadcast. Many different apps in Windows you can specifically assign. Let me try to find that right now. If I do sound settings, no, it's apps and sounds. sound mixer options. Maybe that's it. Let's click on that. All right, great. And this window pops up right here. So you could see on this window, however I just got there, you could send system sounds out for specific apps. So if I wanted to add an app here, I think all I had to do was open like Chrome, and I can, you can change it. Maybe this isn't the exact one, but there's some tutorials out there. I don't want to waste all of your time on this one right now. You could pull up your specific apps. Chrome could go to VAIO, and Firefox and VLC Player. There we go. VLC Player, OBS. Internally, you can change it. But here's where you can change. You could actually change the Firefox. If you had another browser open, you could change where and route that is routing. This also may be where you could do something like Spotify. I'm not sure if Spotify has built-in audio routing or not, but there you go. There's that right there. Okay, so let's get back to the top. Right now you have your inputs, your outputs, and we're coming close to the end right here. There is your hardware outs that we discussed in detail. The one thing that VB Audio did mention was that you want to put your strongest media player output in the A1 section. So in this section right here, that is where you want to put your primary output. So for me, I have it as my Realtek speakers. Now, this section also will, I've read in the manual, I don't know if there's any type of overriding to it. This sets your audio sample rate. You can change it physically within the Windows audio settings, but this is going to basically your whole master rate, bit rate, is going to be based off of whatever you put in A1. So be cognizant of that, and always make sure that as much as you can, make all of your sound applications have the same bit rate. That's very important. And I guess we've already essentially talked about this. I could bring it up just to show you what it looks like. What it looks like when we zoom in. This is the potato mode, where I don't mess with any of this. I don't touch it. You can right-click on this, and an equalizer box comes up, and you can make all sorts of cool wavy changes and change your sound. I'm not that smart yet. So keep on hanging out and see it, and maybe I'll get around to be able to teach that. I've kind of finagled with this in the past, but you can raise your highs, raise your lows, lower your lows, and lower your highs. You can do all of that right there, and you can save it, apply it to all of them. You can mute your channels. If you have, you can also, this right here, you can increase the sound and decrease the sound of your inputs and outputs. So if I'm right now coming into OBS on VAIO 1, if I raise this right now, my voice probably came in a lot louder without me raising my voice at all. So that's an idea for you if you're DJing or Zoom DJing or on Zoom and using this. This is one of those things right there. So that is my my overview essentially of the components that make up Voicemeeter, Banana, and essentially Potato. And I hope that it gives you a little bit more knowledge. If you have any other questions about how to route things specifically through here, then I'm happy to take those questions. But without further ado, DJ Kirk, you've hung on, you've waited. Now let's try to figure out your problem. So let's get out of this this wonderful PowerPoint right there. Thank you. All right, here we go. You're using Virtual DJ for software, but you use OBS for your live stream, and you're on a Mac. Okay, so you might actually be okay here, as long as your external person, they're going to DJ over Zoom to you. Okay, they're going to DJ over Zoom to you. So I hope that makes sense. So whatever let me open up another version of OBS and bring it on over here. Here we go. Say okay. Bring this over. All right, here is another version of OBS. I'm going to do a new scene collection, and we're going to call this Dual DJ. Okay, Dual DJ. So what you're going to want to do here, whatever the output from Zoom is. So answer me this question, DJ Kirk. Are you able to DJ using OBS no problem? Your sound is no problem. So I'll give you a minute to throw that in there while I cleanse my throat. So refreshing, so refreshing. Freezing here in New Jersey, by the way. The temperature completely dropped, 29 degrees Fahrenheit. Don't know what that is Celsius because we're ignorant in the United States. So essentially what I'm going to get to right here is we're going to create a scene. I always do this. So first off, anybody with audio using OBS, I highly recommend this pro tip. Click on settings. In the settings, in your audio, disable. I'm going to zoom in for clarity here. Disable all of these. Disable them. Get rid of them. This will just cause you so many headaches as you move forward with your different audio routing within OBS. So disable all of them there, and rather, you're going to add audio sources down here. So the one thing that I like to do first is I will click the plus button here, and I'm going to add a scene, and it's going to call audio. This is my audio scene that I will add to all of my other scenes. DJ Kirk, you there? How are you getting your audio in from Zoom? That's what we need to know. We need to know this. Because what you're going to end up doing is you need a way to be able to capture their Zoom video, and you're going to need to be able to capture their Zoom sound. Your OBS is already configured to send to whatever you're broadcasting to. So whether it be Mixcloud, Twitch, I guess those are the two main ones that people are using. I think Facebook has essentially shut down anybody who's trying to DJ over Facebook nowadays. But if you are going to DJ, let's say over Mixcloud, your feed is coming from here. It's coming from OBS. So what you have to do is you have to be able to pull in their audio. So what you would do here is do an audio input capture, and we're going to say Zoom DJ sound input. So just zoom in there. Zoom DJ sound input. We're going to click OK. Now this opens up right here. If you have some sort of way of routing your audio from Zoom, I don't know what it would be. I really don't know. But whatever your speakers are set up in Zoom. See, if I was using Voicemeeter, I would just add a line here for you use your controller, roll on. Okay, that. So we got an answer. DJ Kirk says use your controller or roll on 707M. But in Zoom, how are you hearing other people? You use your controller to hear them? If you use your controller to hear them, then that could be pretty easy because then you're getting their input from. It's almost like you have your own mixer, right? You have your own mixing board, so that's going to be an output. So in your input, you would just add your roll-on right here. Roll-on 707N. I apologize, I'm unfamiliar with that device, but this is where you would add that USB audio interface. So for instance, I'll add my Zoom L8 right now, which is my mini mixer, and when I'm talking on my Zoom, it is now showing up in my audio section. So imagine I'm listening to somebody on Zoom through my mixer. Now that audio is also popping in over here within OBS. So I hope that makes sense. So that's the real crux of your question is how do I get their audio in there? And then how do I get their video in there? For me, I have 3 monitors. I don't need 3. I recommend at least 2 to make this happen. What you're going to want to do is add a scene, call this your Zoom video capture. Okay, this is how I do my live shows, which tomorrow night I actually have a live show. It is going to be awesome. I got Mr. Bones from Los Angeles. He's going to be on the show, and this guy has an inborn bone deformity where he's on a respirator with a feeding tube, DJing from his bed. He's a fantastic dude, totally inspirational. So it's on tomorrow night, I believe, 8 or 9 o'clock on this channel Eastern. So definitely jump in there. So what I do to capture Zoom video is I will do a Zoom video display capture. So on this, now I'm going to add a display capture, and I'm going to add my Zoom monitor right here. And then I'm going to make this my other monitor over yonder. Which one is that? Display 1? No, display 3. Display 2, control fit. All right. That is my... Oh, you don't use Zoom? What are you using to get them in then? How are they going to DJ with you? Like, how do you want to do a joint DJ live stream? How would you get them over? Skype? Like, I guess I was assuming you guys were in two different locations. Because I'm showcasing right now how to do this over blah 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 blah. How to do this over Zoom and whatnot. So I'll wait for you to respond there. But this whole thing was, I guess, predicated on two different physical locations. So I definitely would recommend you to use Zoom. The same thing will work for Skype if you have Skype. But yeah, I'll wait for you to answer on that. This is just how I would do it and how I bring people in. So on this window now, let's just I will show this with a simple PowerPoint, right? We're just going to do this right here. I'm going to bring this over here, and I'm going to close this, and I'm going to bring this over here. Let's say that here we go. Let me zoom in. Insert a couple two shapes, right? So this is our Zoom window feed. Our Zoom video feed is going to have one person's video here, and copy paste, and one person's video over here. So we'll make that one. This is me. This is them. So imagine this being a Zoom interface right now. So now back on over here, if this is all you want to show of the other person statically, using Alt and their left mouse button, you just bring this up and over, and we're going to crop it. We're going to keep cropping it until we get just that person's video feed in our screen. Okay? Keep cropping, bring this down a little bit. All right, so now we have that, and we can even stretch it a little bit to make it fit. Perfect. So now I hope that showcased a way of how you can capture somebody on Zoom and just their video, because bringing in the Zoom video application itself, the window, OBS doesn't like to play nice with that. So now when you get back to your main scene, you can add the nested scene of the Zoom video capture, and you can shrink it on down like that. So you don't use Zoom. That is what I am asking. So I apologize. There's a little bit of delay, obviously, through what I say and what comes in on the chat. So if you want to clarify that a little bit more, I recommend that you use. So you're in different locations. Okay. So then Zoom is the way to do it. DJing over Zoom, or at least they would be DJing over Zoom, so that way you can get them. There is no way for them to do a live stream and you to do a live stream and for it to be together in the same live stream. That technology doesn't exist. One person has to be essentially the producer. You need to be the person who it is your live stream. You're then inviting people in, and this is the technique that I use, that I would do it. So as an example of my show, having showed you what I just did right there, the DJ LaFave show, you'll see that I have my Zoom window right there. And let me just pull this up. Where's my promo? My promo. Future shows. Oh, it's not there. But yeah, so then once you have that display in there, you can move their video around multiple different ways. And voici, voila. That's how I roll with it. So OBS, so I just showed you how OBS works with Zoom. Feel free to play this back. I showed you how to pull in audio from Zoom into OBS. That was when we go back to that dual DJ. So I showed you how to pull in your Zoom audio. So that was however you're listening to them, you have to get that speaker sound from Zoom into OBS. That's it. Get their speaker sound into your OBS. When I'm using Voicemeeter as the example, I have my Zoom participants coming in on VAIO3. And if you remember earlier, I was talking about all of my music is going out on B2. So I would simply just take their audio on VAIO3 and I would click B2. And now their audio from their Zoom broadcast is inside of my OBS. That is the generic simple routing. We're going to send the output of B2 right here. That's what's coming in as my music on OBS. So I hope that makes sense. If it needs a little bit more clarity, then let me know. And then what I just showed you right here was to do a video capture of the person on a second monitor. So feel free to wind through that one again, and hopefully that works for you. Now, here's my surprise for anybody who's watching this right now, and what I am currently working on for you, for the people. It is something called a template. This is my newest pet project right now. A lot of people will start using OBS and not really know how to use it. So what I plan on doing is creating a scene collection that I can export and that you guys can all download for free and then configure it the way that you want it. So if you like that idea, hit like on this video. Let me know in the chat. It's something that I want to provide to people to make it easier. Because for starters, the first thing that I have here is I have the entire scene collection set up. I have it set up that I do everything as scenes. I will nest scenes as sources. So I've already set up some color sources for you. I have created overlays, so you can just drag and drop an overlay onto a scene. I'm creating the building blocks for you to easily do work within OBS, something that is not currently available. So those people who are new to OBS or want to learn some new features, this is kind of what I'm doing. I've added display capture, so all you have to do is then just add it to it or modify it for your own baseline configuration. If you're doing gaming, I have games already pre-configured on here. So whether you're capturing your game as the game capture mode or a window capture mode or through an HDMI input, then I've got you covered with this. That is the idea. A lot of people will pay money for thank you, Stefan. I appreciate that. He says that's pretty cool. People will pay money for overlays and templates. What I'm trying to do is actually create the whole kit and caboodle. So all you got to do is get in here and then modify your name and your web links. So one of the examples I have set up here for you is chat overlays. So we go to the, where is that at? That's up here. Scene overlays, chat overlays. So I've actually pre-configured a transparent Mixcloud overlay for you. So when you zoom out, it's already made and ready for you to bring into your overall design. All you have to do is right-click, click on Properties, and then just modify the URL with your Mixcloud name. And bada bing, bada boom, you are set up and good to go. I'm doing the same right here with Streamlabs chat overlay. So I have a couple of great videos. One that it's my biggest video, actually. I think it's like 46,000 views, where I teach people how. No problem, DJ Kirk. DJ Kirk says, thanks. Going to play with it tonight. Feel free to hit me up. Go to djlefave.com and send me a message. I'll be happy to assist when and where I can. I hope to help to get you to the finish line, and maybe I'll be a third DJ on your broadcast, because you can never have enough. So right here is all you're going to do here is you get your widget link, and then you just put your widget link right in here. Your custom URL goes here. That's it. So I'm really trying to make this easy so that you could build your future scenes off of this. So I think it's a good concept. It's going to take a whole lot of work to do. But part of this as well, let me open up this window right here, is to ensure that a window is created. A file structure is created, so that way all of the pictures and sources that I provide in this, all you have to do is create on your C drive. You just drag over this OBS resource folder, and then all the images I use, all the videos I use, if I use sounds, it's going to be there. So that is the plan for that. One thing that I also set up in here is the audio inputs. So I already have what I did with the audio input, I kind of like this. I have it set up so that all of the audio that you're listening to, I have configured for everything is going to be going out on your master channel, and then I have you set up for 6 or 5 additional separate tracks. So you're going to have a 6 multi-track audio thing. You can bring in 6 different things of audio, essentially. So the one thing that I mentioned here is you could do microphone, you could do music input, you can add Discord, you can add Google Voice, you can add all the things that I essentially just taught you you can easily bring in with just a couple of quick reconfigurations. So this is what I'm working on. I created an audio visualizer, which has to be tied to some sort of audio source. And I haven't gotten that totally figured out yet. This is the only one right here that requires a plugin for you to make it work. But everything else, this is the biggest thing. Everything else that's in this setup that I'm doing is built into OBS. So everything that you see right now is a part of OBS. So there's like no I'm not doing the filters yet. I'm not doing any other plugins or anything like that. Everything you see is built in here. So go down a little bit further. I've actually added the virtual DJ windows. So it's set up so that if you're using virtual DJ, right? Where am I going here? If you're using virtual DJ and you were to do a video, and we're going to activate the shader. You see the shader right there. Let me do the positioning just to make it right here. So we're going to do the positioning, get the shader right, make it full size. So there's a shader. The video is popped out. Now, supposedly, there you go. It's already brought in. So there you go. It should be configured that all you have to do is open up the window. And the way that I have this configured is properties. It's looking for all the right settings. So my hope is, and we're going to test this out, I'm sure you all will help me. My hope is that this is transferable, that you can export a full scene and that all of the settings that I do stay exactly the same. Then I also plan to, on each one of these, I'm going to, I did a little test here. I can actually insert my YouTube videos. So my plan is to do. So it looks like it took our sampler. So if I click on remixes, mute that. Yeah, you could hear that. So I plan to insert all of my individual tutorials for this into each part of these scenes and broadcasts. You either have the link that you can click on right from here, or the videos will be within OBS itself. So I did a lot of cool things here. I've created some builders. So when you're building out your site, you already have an overlay or an underlay, I'll call it, of how to build and how to shape things up to make them nice and neat. So that's this is the other thing. If you have a background, master background image, I can change my background and it will change automatically on my master scene that I'm doing up here. So that's what I'm doing. If you guys like the ideas of that, like and subscribe. It'll definitely, you'll hear it first here for sure. I'll probably do a live stream again because I think I'm getting pretty good at them. You guys be the judges. So this is it. So Stefan, you said my Mixcloud. What do you mean by my Mixcloud? I could try to help you out here before I get off for the show for today. This was another fun live stream. I appreciate all the interaction, everybody with their questions, and just that was fun. That was a good one. So I'll wait a second, see what you got when you say my Mixcloud. I should add my link in here. I'm starting to use it a little bit more. So if you guys want, https://www.mixcloud.com/DJ There you go. So you guys got that. Hopefully you can drag, give me a follow. I'll give you a follow back. That's the way we do it. Yeah, so that's essentially it right now. I appreciate you all. Well, I was gonna give my channel. Yeah, well, give your channel, man. give me your channel. Send it to me. You can send it in the chat. If it hides it, I'll show it, or just do some spaces because sometimes they block them in the chat, you know. But that's it. If you guys have any other questions before I pop off, then I'll hang around for another minute or dose, and then we'll get there. But yeah, that was good. I really was unsure of how that whole PowerPoint thing was going to go down, but it went down, and it went down pretty well. So that was pretty cool, and hopefully it breaks down what kind of Voicemeeter a little bit more. Oh, hey, check this out. My son took this photo the other night. This is the moon. It had that incredible ring around it, so I had to immediately make it my background. So props to my 13-year-old for putting that thing together. That is pretty cool. All right, we are approaching 45 minutes. Stefan, you got to get me that link, bro. I'm waiting. All right. I won't wait anymore. You got my email. Everybody else, hit me up with questions you might have. Happy to do any tutorials or just hang out in the future. Yes, your arrow animation. No, thank you. My arrow animation. I was so proud of that. Like I think if my mom could put it on her refrigerator, she would be just as proud right now. Just pack it on there. That was great. It's the little things in life. Thank you all for hanging out. I appreciate it. DJ Kirk, Stefan, VideoFusion.ca. I appreciate each and every one of you. I'm DJ LaFave. That's it. I'm out. LaFave. Done. It there. Oh man, good times. I'll see you guys all tomorrow night. Come to the stream tomorrow night for sure. The stream is gonna be a good show. You guys are really gonna dig this guy. He's a great guy, Mr. Bones. I've had a couple conversations with him already, and he mixes really good too. He's got really great mixes when he does it up on Mixcloud. He's all over the place. He is a social media demon. He's just on it. So get on out there. That's it.